subject. And I've just written a little paperback called Breaking Through Power. It's easier than we think. And the premise is that throughout American history, and I'm sure other countries, the most major advances in social justice have never required more than 1% of the people being active in pursuing those advances, as long as they represent a majority opinion. And if you go back through American history, many times it's less than 1%. 1% of the adults in this country is 2.5 million people. And so why don't we just start with trying to get a serious sub-society underway. Instead of talking about reaching 50, 80, 90 million people to cut off from Facebook or not give so many of their personal information, et cetera. Start with building that 1%. The minimum wage is a national issue. A lot of state and local governments have raised it. It's coming to Congress. And it didn't take more than 50,000 people picketing Walmart with the help of SEIU, McDonald's, and a few think tanks to make this an issue in the presidential campaign as well. So let's, in order not to be totally overwhelmed, it can be very overwhelming. The new technology, I mean, within 4 years, you're going to see millions of people, many of them young, walking around with virtual reality goggles. You want to talk about fake news, right? Virtual reality, because there's only one major technical impediment now, and that is how do you reduce the nausea of three-dimensional reality. And Tony Fadell, who's one of the inventors of the smartphone, told me we're about 4 years now away from it becoming current. So let's just work on building that serious 1% in one area after another that are composed of regular people all over, neighborhoods, communities. You know, they surprise us where they come from. And because they come from everywhere, they have their own circle. They have their own friends and relatives and neighbors who look up to them. They're often called the influentials by Madison Avenue. So, because I don't see Facebook and Microsoft and Google, they're trapped by the exudations of their own flamingly fast technological developments. They don't have a clue when they unleash things what the consequences are. And they haven't had from day one. They don't have a clue. They just know they're putting the product out, they can show it's exciting, and the rest of it is going to take care of itself. No. So I really wouldn't rely on them. I think we need a grassroots movement of the serious sub-society that can take command of this. Because eventually it's going to have to end up in Congress. First Amendment or not, it's going to have to end up in Congress. You have 4 major monopolies now redefined under our antitrust laws someday, we hope. You have Google, you have Facebook, you have Microsoft, and what's the other one?
LinkedIn,
Apple.
I don't know.
Apple.
What? Apple?
And Apple. And they're sloshing around toward each other, but basically they have a new kind of monopoly, just the way Amazon is developing a new kind of monopoly. This is not going to be, oh, don't mess with our First Amendment rights. Oh, no, no. This is going to go into the antitrust area, and it's going to go into legislation, and the sooner the better.
Ralph, I want to take a couple of questions, but